What's going on? Welcome back to Trading Stocks. Today we're going to talk to you about SoundHound. I want to go over some expectations for this upcoming week, what might cause some volatility in the stock price, and go over everything else you need to know. But first, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So this upcoming week, it's going to be very volatile for SoundHound. So starting off with data points. Monday, it's going to be more of a reflection day. People thinking about what happened last week as well as what is to come. There's a lot of big things coming out this week that could really move the market, but Powell, you have Tuesday, Wednesday, him speaking, and so he's going to be talking on all the hot topics such as inflation, interest rates, labor data. A lot of the labor data hasn't necessarily been all that great, so again, he definitely will bring the volatility. And then aside from that, Wednesday you have CPI, PPI on Thursday, and then retail sales on Friday. Specific to SoundHound though, they are participating in one conference, one summit. So the IFI annual conference, so this is between February the 10th and the 13th. They do have a booth. As far as I'm aware, they're not doing any full presentations, just the booth, but it is a fairly large one. It is going to be in good old Las Vegas, Mandalay Bay. So yeah, this is definitely very, very good. Then aside from that, they're participating in this right here. So Connected Health and Fitness, that's between February the 11th and the 13th in LA. Similarly, I don't think they're doing any full broad presentation, just the booth, but I think in general that is pretty good. And not only that though, they're actually really updating a lot of their social media to represent this. So yeah, I think that hopefully this will bring maybe some more interviews or possibly just good videos and whatever else of these two events. So let me know your viewpoint on that. As far as anything else specific to SoundHound, we're just most likely going to get this week the date of their earnings, whether it be the estimated right over here end of February or if they kind of move it up. But no matter what, I think they should be announcing the date this week. So that could be a good catalyst depending on what they say. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the market is absolutely cutthroat right now, that they're kind of overlooking this, so earnings per share, revenue, and whatever. Rather, they're focusing on future guidance. So SoundHound, they've already stated that they have some pretty big things coming for 2025. So if they do mirror that exact same type of momentum, their earnings could be seen as somewhat positive. But as you can kind of see, the estimates right now, -9 cents for the earnings per share, 33.73 million for revenue. Over the last 90 days, there is 0 positive, 5 negative revisions to the earnings per share. So let me know your viewpoint on that. I do feel the bar is still set fairly low, similar to last earnings. So as you can kind of see, they did have a triple beat, so good future guidance, earnings per share, and as well as revenue, because the bar was set very low. So I think that might happen this time around. But again, earnings is somewhat of a Russian roulette sometimes. They maybe hit the right things and they just say the wrong thing for future guidance, and then the market hates on them. It's like absolutely crazy. But going into this upcoming week, 31.94% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 105.13 million shares. Shorts over the last several trading days definitely have been up to something because they've been returning. I'm not really sure why, but even on Friday, they did return 983,000. You do see some pretty blatant signs of manipulation, as I've brought up. Cost to borrow minimum is flat, so 0. So as I mentioned, someone can pretty much short SoundHound and not pay any of these cost to borrow fees, which on average is 2.93. But there is a broker out there trying to really drum up some business for SoundHound. So kind of interesting in that regard. So anticipate shorts to be very, very active, especially with a lot of the data that's coming out that could be perceived as very negative. But let's say PPI, CPI come in better than anticipated, you could see a very broad market push higher. So again, something to kind of keep in mind. But aside from all that fun stuff, options you're seeing still rather low. So there was roughly 8.2 million in calls, 2.64 in puts, 49% on Friday of all the options were optimistic in nature, and there's a consensus for it to be roughly around that $17 range for this upcoming week. Bears are anticipating for it to be sub 15. So definitely there's still a little bit more upside with it closing at 15.56. This is all the open interest. You had 6,000 in open interest at that $15 strike price, 3,000 at that 15.50. So you're not going to see any gamma squeeze, not any push higher. This upcoming week, there isn't any crazy walls either. There's 4,000 at 16 and then 3,000 at 17. So nothing really crazy, which in reality could be a good thing, because typically on these very strong walls such as 16, there was 11,000, shorts get fairly active. Shorts and market makers have a financial interest in bringing stocks such as SoundHound below those key kind of strike prices. So this upcoming week, if data is good, SoundHound could in theory move higher. You won't see any like I said, blatant signs of manipulation. But aside from that, with it at $15.60, it is trading between this pivot and this S1. So 12.48 is going to be the next strong support. 16.47 is going to be the next strong target slash resistance. And every time SoundHound does have kind of a spike up, it does get to this general area, so we know that this is a very strong resistance. But essentially, if it is able to get above that, you can kind of see it's just a quick step over to $20. So let me know your viewpoint on that in the comments below. Aside from all that, with that 15.60, it is below the 50-day moving average. Still been flirting with it, but Friday it did close below that. So that is at $15.79. So that's going to be a key one to really watch for in the short term. ALMA right now is at 15.64, so it did close as well below that as well. But those are going to be some key ones to really watch for early on to see if it really sets a trajectory for it to kind of move higher back to, like I said, the $20 range, or if it does break down to more so around that $12 range, which is the next strong support as I kind of showed you. But it's going to be a fun ride. I think SoundHound, no matter what, is going to be a lot of volatility this week. So if you are a swing trader, day trader, or if you just want a better deal, definitely take advantage, buy the dip, do what you need to do. I think it's fair to assume that SoundHound is going to have some dips. It always does. Very volatile, pretty much like 8% swings almost every single day. So yeah, if you ever are looking for a deal, definitely just be patient and do what you need to do. But again, you do whatever floats your boat. The only negative thing I do want to bring up though is SoundHound's actually been doing rather well. For those of you that watch my video every day, I've been stating the last 3 days, SoundHound's actually been doing, despite the fear, massive amount of fear in the market, SoundHound's been actually holding up very well. And because of that, you're seeing the stochastic RSI rather overbought. So first sign of weakness, whether it be specific to SoundHound or let's say Powell comes out, be like, hey, we might actually have to raise rates or thinking about raising rates and not satisfied with the labor data. Who knows what he could say. That could really prompt some fear. That could cause a pullback with SoundHound and just a broader market. So that's something, again, just to keep in mind. So let me know your viewpoint. Nonetheless, it should be a fun-filled, packed week of enjoyment, volatility, and hopefully we do see some pretty good videos, or let's say an interview from one of these two events, so the conference and then the summit. So let me know your viewpoint. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. One final thing, pop over to my Patreon. I give buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers, so definitely worthwhile to pop over there and take a look. With all that, appreciate all of you watching.